Hello and welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. I am extremely exhausted after work. One of my manager's daughters split her leg open, so she had to leave almost immediately as our shift started. And so I had to deal with an angry, upset, tired man the entirety of my shift. He was there since 7 o'clock in the morning and had to stay there till 11:30 at night. He was still there when I left. I left around 11:30 because that's when I got out. And we still had a bunch of stuff to do. It was mostly just dishes that needed to be done. But the fact that we had so much to do, so late. The thing is, every one of our customers were so incredibly nice and very pleasant throughout the entirety of our night. And they were so patient with us, despite how long it was taking, because there was 2 of us, and one was sleep deprived, basically. They were all so nice, so kind, and so polite, and patient, but it was still shitty, because we ran out of chicken at one point. We absolutely entirely ran out of every piece of chicken. We sold everything, and we were just tired. And they kept coming the entire day. And they weren't even small orders, too. They were huge orders the entire day. We were constantly making food, constantly having orders. This has been going on for 3 days, where we've been constantly getting late night orders. Constantly getting orders entirely. I'm so tired. But I still want to record, and I want to get a lot of things done. If one of your friends committed suicide, and they asked you to bury them and pretend like she was just missing, would you do it? Like, if you were the one who found her, like, they knew only you would find her. My headphones just glitched out. That was horrifying. Sometimes I have really unhinged thoughts. I think that just shows how much more tired I am. The unhinged thoughts get worse when I'm tired. Though I remember studying like history and stuff, and they would put people in mental hospitals for literally anything, especially women. I'd 100% be stuck in a mental hospital if it wasn't for the fact that I was born in this time period. The amount of horrific things that would happen to people who have my thought set and thought process, because I've always thought the same way that I always have. My feet hurt, my legs hurt, my back hurts. Everything's sore. I'm so glad that I get free soda, though. If it wasn't for the fact that I get free drinks at work, I probably would have lived so much longer. Because apparently at Burger King and, like, different pizza franchises, they do not give their employees a free meal. Blasphemous. Completely unrespectful. Because every single restaurant I've ever worked in has given me a free meal as, like, my incentive to work there. To be fair, my dad also knew the owners, so maybe that's why I was treated a little bit kinder. Because I'm an asshole, but also, like, in the nicest way. Though once I answered the phone and was like, this guy called back, the guy, and he complained about me calling him the guy. And I was like, I don't know your name. Did you want me to call you a woman? The thing is, I would have said it in the most monotone voice. If you're not a guy, did you want me to call you a woman, sir? Are you sure you're a sir? Or are you a miss? Because I was calling you a guy. Because I'm pretty sure you're a man. A little girl having to come to terms with the fact that she's a psycho is kind of funny. The thing is, she claimed an evil spirit possessed her, but she realized that the evil spirit was the one holding her at bay and preventing her from doing worse. I watched some fucked up movies. Movies in other languages tend to be the most horrifying things. And how are you liking the little clips that my editing device likes to do? I've been using Riverside, and it's actually been doing kind of nice. It gave me exactly 9, like, short clips that I actually really needed. Because otherwise I would have just edited it shorter. Because usually when I film an art video, I kind of just shrink everything then post them and add monologue over it. But it just kind of condensed monologue that I had in the actual video. It even condensed the video. Got rid of all of the ums and blank space and all of the stuff I don't say. And it's actually really useful, and I quite enjoy that. So it's important. So many of the people were so nice today. And that's the only thing that kept me going without having like a mental breakdown. As my manager's mood kept getting more and more angry and unstable. And I just kept laughing. And it probably made it worse. But I laugh when I'm stressed. And that's something a lot of people are not used to with people. Is people laughing when they're stressed. The more stressed I get, the more I laugh. And I just am just laughing the whole time. That's how I calm myself down. It's a way to make myself not hyperventilate and have panic attacks. Which not normal, but you know what? It works for me. And everyone has their own method of calming themselves down. My manager, he doesn't have his own way of calming himself down. He was never taught techniques to help himself. I figured out my own because I didn't want to suffer anymore, and I wanted to figure my shit out and see what helps. Because I hate being me sometimes. I also still need to ask my manager to set aside time so that I can have a weekend off. Just one day of the weekend. Because I really genuinely would like to have one day on the weekends off so that I can do more of other things. Because I really don't want to be in the same space that I am in constantly, where I'm struggling to keep up with my life. I haven't washed my hair properly in a long time. When my headphones glitch out, it's really annoying. I want to listen to what I'm listening to. I only have one headphone fully in because I still need to hear myself speak, and honestly, I just am word vomiting a little bit because I had a rough day. And sometimes I don't really know how to articulate that I'm having a rough day, and sometimes I don't even want to talk about it. Because honestly, it wasn't even the people that made my day rough, it was just the amount of people. I run out of energy really fast when dealing with people. And it's not even because they're bad. It's because of too much. And it's not their fault. We try our best. We had an order and said, sorry, we ran out of chicken. You have to cancel it. And they repeatedly did not cancel the order. Multiple times. They did not tell the customer. They just made it someone else's problem. And most of the Dashers don't speak English, so it's really hard to articulate, we're out of chicken, please cancel the order. And someone arrived really late at night, about 10:57, and, well, we had to still articulate. We ran out of chicken an hour ago, and we needed genuinely, but we had no one to help us. We just had to deal with it. We just were tired and ran out of stuff, and we couldn't do anything about it. And I told my manager, usually this is what Anna does, because she knows what to do. But from the last 2 days, we kept having issues where we had to make more than what was predicted because it's been busy. And it wasn't even like regular things like regular chicken on the bone. Chicken on the bone, we had plenty of by the end of the night. What we didn't have plenty of was tenders and sandwiches. We've been running out of those every single day. If you order around 9 o'clock, the chances are we are not gonna have any sandwiches left. And it doesn't even matter how many we predict. Once we made a full bag, which was 24 fillets. Usually we only make 9. We still ran out. When we only have 6 fillets left, though, after 9 o'clock, we save them all for deliveries. But we still did not have enough. Because everyone and their mother was ordering sandwiches. I understand our sandwiches are great, but please order earlier in the day when we can actually make food. Do not order around 9 o'clock. We want to clean and go to bed. Or if you really absolutely have to order after a certain time, at least warn us in the morning. You can time your orders so that they'll be made for you freshly at a specific time. But if you give us like hours in advance, we'll have enough. So I accidentally cut myself with my nails while itching, which is quite annoying because when the scabs start to slowly like try to itch themselves off, sometimes they just rip fully off and then I start bleeding on my clothing, which is really annoying because I would rather not have to clean blood out of my clothes. It's not hard to clean blood out of clothing, it's just not fun. Because you have to actually scrub at it a little bit. Otherwise, the scabs will build. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I took off my bra and realized one cup was almost entirely covered in scabs and blood. And so, clearly I have issues, and I don't feel the pain of the injuries, but I do see the effects of them. I do still get sensory issues, but in a completely weird sense. I have the worst problems. I know other people have issues too, but everyone's issues are the worst for themselves, so that's fine. You can say you have the worst problems without it being exactly true, because technically, they're the worst problems you will have. And it's okay to feel the pressure of your issues. I have rashes building up all over my face and neck right now because I ate something that I wasn't supposed to, and I'm having extremely bad allergic reaction throughout the entire workday too, so it's not fun. This color is kind of green, which is kind of nice. Imagine ripping people out of their delusions and them just hating you. Because that's exactly what would happen if you ripped a person out of their delusions. It happened with my grandmother and my great aunt. My grandmother is a very, realistic person. She's also a racist, but that's why I don't talk to her. If you get arrested for hiring a hitman, that means you hire really shitty hitmen. Imagine they get caught. I'm kind of curious, though. Do hitmen, have certain people that they would never kill, no matter what? Because I know some would say, no women, no kids. Some would say, just no kids. Some probably wouldn't care at all and just be like, yeah, paycheck's a paycheck. But I feel like all would have, some form of ramification. What's the amount they could get away with? Do you believe in vampires? Because a lot of my fans like to call me a vampire because I have fangs. If I was born in the Dark Ages, they would have murdered me for having protruding fangs. Let's be real. They used to kill and burn people and then bury their bodies with a scythe over their necks because they thought they were vampires. When in reality, my teeth having fangs is literally just a genetic deformity. My natural fangs are a deformity, technically. Genetically, my teeth are not supposed to look like this naturally. They're a product of deformity. Crooked teeth is technically a deformity. But that's also why I kind of love when people have these deformities. They're not ugly, they're really gorgeous. Vitiligo. It's one of the most beautiful skin conditions I've ever seen. It's so mesmerizing to see people with that beautiful skin. Sounds really creepy and stalkerish to say their skin is beautiful. But it's the same as looking at a model and being like, ooh, their skin is so smooth, or they're so gorgeous. My great aunt did end up in a mental hospital because she attacked my grandmother from behind. She ripped out her hair and part of her scalp, almost scalped the woman with her bare hands. Attacking from a person from behind means you're really, pathetic, and no, you can't take them head on. I question. Sometimes I wonder how many murderers never went to prison. You have to really think about it, because some people admit to killing people on their deathbed. They've never spent a day in prison because they were good enough to keep the secret. Not let it go till they were on their deathbed. But the only thing that let them finally pass was admitting their sins. Usually that's what happens before a person dies. I've realized a lot of people tend to speak their truth and all of the bad things they've done right before they die. Everything they regret, everything they wish they changed or wish they did something different. They admit to them only on their deathbed. No one will know exactly who said it, but there's plenty of stories about it. If you ever ask a person who's a nurse some things they've heard old people say on their deathbed, it's not fun. And some of the things that make me cherish the little things in life is the fact that some people in my similar situation are doing worse than me. They can have a house, they can have food, but they're missing something that I don't have, that I have. Whether it be safety, or electricity, or running water, or warmth or cold, depending on the season. Some people lack comfort. Some people think they might get bombed one day, but in reality, it doesn't matter where you lived. There's a chance that you might get bombs just above your home, or fire burning everything you've ever loved, or a flood washing you away, or a hurricane tearing up the land you remembered as your home. There is no safety anywhere. Technically, there's a chance that we will die by random chance, or by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. There is a lot of bad things that happen all the time, and it's a little sad. I don't really have a lot of good memories of my dad, and every single memory of my dad, I have remembered him holding a beer. He might have not been at a bar, but that's because he brought the bar home. And he always had a case in the fridge for himself, but he kept his fridge in his own room, separate from the regular fridge in the main room. But it was always full. It always had something in it. He was always a step away from partying, going out, or doing something. And now he plays the guitar, so he has more reasons to go to clubs and parties and do karaoke, since he can get paid to do that now. He wrote a song once. He's probably gonna write more, but the one thing that's never changed is the fact that I almost always see him with a beer. And if not immediately, in a few seconds or so, he's always clinging to that can, like it's the only thing keeping him alive, when in reality it's slowly sucking him away and destroying him from the inside out, which is why I really don't like it when people drink alcohol excessively. Once in a while, sure, go for it. But drinking for absolutely no reason other than you don't want to feel isn't how to live. You're not living your life, you're drowning in it. You can't get over the overwhelming, crushing feeling of being alive. But my ex once accidentally admitted that I might be the reason he drinks. I can't say definitely, but yeah. I really truly broke that man's heart, and I feel bad. I do. But I can't do anything to help. I can't truly help at all. And the problem isn't even them or like their personality. Even though we fight now, the only reason we even fight is because of the fact that they're upset that I can't be attracted to them. Which is really pathetic, to be honest. I didn't choose who I could be attracted to. I was born like this. I was hoping I could get a little bit farther than I have. So it turns out the psychologist that was interviewing patients the whole time was a patient themselves. There is so much snot, and it's just built up mucus, and it's awful. Person with dementia, do you think you could technically make them believe they were something that they weren't? Like each day you give them a different story of who they are, and just watch what happens. I feel like it would be a good way to test human motivation. That's a really fucked up thought. It's just because people with dementia, they are people, even if they can't remember that they are. But if you give a convincing enough story, you can make a person believe anything, technically. All you need is multiple people helping you. Someday, a prank that I want to do to a person is on their birthday, have all of the people they know jump up and say, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." And that's it. That's all they repeat for like a full minute, with the biggest grin they can muster on their face and eyes wide open, and see what happens. I feel like that would psychologically torment a person, but I also kind of want to see what would happen. If they had a mental breakdown, I'd feel bad, but it is interesting to see what would happen. Something I realized, though, is mental illnesses tend to group together a lot. If you have one, you likely have others. Oh, I hear Roshan. I just think. And I realize I have so much I need to get done. It makes me realize how so tired of just... I don't see any validation for my work. I haven't earned anything from it fully without feeling like I manipulated someone. Because people make me feel shitty about them giving me stuff sometimes. And it's not their fault. I like when I get things from my subscribers because it's really nice. And I do cherish everything I get given. I genuinely do. But I also know it's a pain in the ass to deal with on my own. Imagine thinking you were getting chased by a zombie. Horrifying, right? Especially if it was like a World War Z zombie. I mean, out of all of the different zombie movies, types of zombies that I've seen, Walking Dead zombies seem like the easiest to handle. Just go to like a cold climate where they would freeze. Like, why go south when you can go north? I mean, yeah, it would be harder to survive out in the north because snow usually means you can't farm, but that's what greenhouses are for. That's why they were created. You can make anywhere warm. But in reality, if the world did end, technically the first places that you'd want to try to get away from are nuclear power plants. Because after a certain amount of time, those things will explode like huge bombs without regular maintenance. Unless someone purposely shut them off properly and made it so they could not operate as a bomb. What I think about is the only valid reason to try to get put in a mental hospital instead of being put in a prison is if you were on death row. Because claiming mental instability is what caused your accidents would prevent them from being able to put you on death row in some cases. Not necessarily always. Depends on how bad and how many. If anyone's deemed dangerous enough, they're definitely going to prison no matter what. But it also makes you think how many people are in prisons or aren't just because they claimed insanity. But I technically think all cases of murder are a form of insanity, because you have to be pretty mentally unstable, even if it isn't a permanent unstable, to be able to commit murder. You have to be some form of mentally unstable or fucked up in order to do something heinous. I believe anyone who really does something truly evil is mentally unstable, and there's something wrong with them. They were made incorrectly in the first place. But I guess there's like different ways to put it. But I also see insulting people without reason as both funny, but also something you probably shouldn't do. Like, she's single, she's allowed to flirt with whoever she wants. You don't have to call her a slut just because she happened to find you attractive. It's not her fault. You can't choose who you're attracted to. The only person who has to be faithful is the person who's in a relationship. But you still don't have to be an asshole about it. Though I am asked to make custom pieces occasionally with jewelry. Not always, but sometimes. I know I'm good at making jewelry. That's a skill I do pride myself on. Just a little bit. It's a skill I've had for a while, and it's a skill I really enjoy. I like jewelry making. I've always found it a very pretty thing. Glad I'm getting kind of far on this, but I also know I won't finish it. Not in this video. Maybe not even in the next. Depending on how the next one goes, though, I will know whether I'll finish it in the third. Something I've always loved is psychological horror. Because I want to think about things when I'm watching something a little messed up. And when I was watching this one, I was thinking, is this guy a really therapist? And I was correct, he wasn't. He was one of the mental problematic patients, living in delusions like us all. Just quite fascinating to think about. And we all might just be living in a big delusion, or that anything that we do doesn't matter at all because it won't be remembered. I can say the same thing over and over again and still be forgotten, but it's never felt like my hard work ever really meant anything because of my job. Anyway, this will be the end of the video. I shall say peace, love, and have a good night, my fab fans, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!